Hello, dear traveller of the night. Welcome back, or perhaps welcome for the very first time to the Sleepless Philosopher, a place where restlessness becomes reflection, where silence speaks, and where the long wandering thoughts of the soul are gently cradled in the arms of philosophy. Wherever you are, however you feel, this space is for you, to think, to breathe, and maybe, just maybe, to drift softly into sleep. Tonight, we're going to explore something very strange, a concept so fundamental to our lives, yet so slippery, so quietly mysterious, that even the greatest minds in history have struggled to define it. Tonight, we will fall into the strange philosophy of time. But don't worry, this won't be a lecture. There's no pressure to remember anything. No tests, no clocks ticking in the background. Only gentle thoughts drifting like leaves on a still pond. Before we begin, I want to ask you something simple. Where are you listening from? Which corner of this curious little world do you call home? And what time is it there? Not just on the clock, but what kind of time is it for you? Is it a lonely time? A peaceful one? Is it late, so late that it's not really night anymore but something in between? Or maybe time has stopped mattering altogether? If you'd like to take a moment, you can share with me in the comments. I read them slowly like letters in bottles. And while you're here, if you find peace in this place, if this space helps you rest, or reflect, or simply feel less alone, I would be so grateful if you'd gently tap that like button, and if you haven't already, you're warmly invited to subscribe. It helps this little philosophical haven reach more sleepless minds like yours. Now, find a soft blanket. Let your phone or screen rest beside you. Take a long, slow breath in and let it go. You're safe here, and there's no rush. Because tonight, we're going to let time itself unfold, softly, slowly, like an ancient scroll unrolling in candlelight. Time, we live by it, we race against it, we waste it, we wish we had more of it, and sometimes we wish we could go back. But what is it? You see, time is not something you can touch. Not like the rain, or a stone, or a page in a book. It doesn't make a sound, and yet it rules everything. The philosopher Saint Augustine once said, "What then is time? If no one asks me, I know what it is. If I wish to explain it to him who asks, I do not know." Isn't that beautiful? Even one of the most brilliant minds of early Christianity, a bishop who spent his life writing about God and eternity, couldn't quite explain what time is, because time is like a dream you forget the moment you wake up. You feel it while it's happening, but try to pin it down and it slips through your fingers. Augustine believed that the past doesn't exist anymore, the future hasn't happened yet, and all we ever really have is the present moment. But here's the strange thing, even that disappears the moment you try to look at it. The present becomes the past, instantly. So what are we living in? What does it mean to live in something that is always vanishing? Let me tell you a small story, one that may help you drift off, or drift inward. There was once a quiet clockmaker in a village surrounded by hills. He lived alone above his little shop, where he repaired ancient timepieces. He rarely spoke, but he listened to the tick-tick-tick of the hundreds of clocks in his care. Every morning he wound them, every evening he listened. One day a traveller arrived, a philosopher, wandering in search of meaning. He asked the old clockmaker, "Why do you spend your life with these ticking things?" The clockmaker paused, then he said something simple, "Because they remind me that time is not mine, but attention is." The traveller smiled and stayed for a night, and in the soft ticking silence he began to understand. Time cannot be controlled, but how we meet it, that's where meaning lives. And perhaps that's what philosophy really is. Not trying to stop the clock, but sitting still long enough to listen to its rhythm. Now, let your shoulders relax. Let your mind wander as it wishes. You don't need to hold on to every word. We're just floating now, floating down the quiet river of time, past ancient temples of thought and half-forgotten philosophers whispering in candlelight. In the next part, we'll visit the timeless paradoxes of Zeno, the strange circular views of Nietzsche, the deep rhythms of Heidegger, and the way Bergson believed time isn't measured but felt. But for now, if your eyes are heavy, you may rest. This stream of thought will keep flowing without you. You are not missing anything. You are becoming part of it. The ancient silence of paradox and the stillness of thought. Somewhere in ancient Greece, under the warm hush of olive trees and sun-soaked stones, there lived a quiet thinker named Zeno of Elea. Zeno was a student of Parmenides, a philosopher who believed that change was an illusion, that reality in its truest sense was still, eternal, unmoving, no birth, no death, no motion at all. To you and me, that might sound strange, even impossible, but to Zeno, it made perfect eternal sense. And to prove his master's idea, he created paradoxes, little riddles of reason that would twist logic into knots. One of these was about an arrow. Imagine an arrow in flight, now freeze time. At any one moment, just a single sliver of time, the arrow is still. It's not moving forward, it just is, suspended in air. And if every moment is still, how does motion happen at all? Zeno argued that motion is just an illusion made of stillness. Now don't worry about solving this paradox. That's not why we're here. You don't need to figure it out, just let it drift into you. Because maybe life is like Zeno's arrow. Maybe we spend so much time thinking about where we're going, we forget that every instant is already here. You're not the future. You're not your plans, your deadlines, or the ticking of your to-do list. You're just this moment, this breath, this awareness, right now. And maybe that's enough. So rest here, like the arrow, suspended, still, present, perfectly enough. Nietzsche's eternal return. Time, like dreams, may be circular. Now let's drift forward, or perhaps in circles. There was a philosopher who walked alone through the Alps. He spoke to mountains and thunder and silence. His name was Friedrich Nietzsche, and he gave us a strange, dizzying idea: eternal return. Imagine this. What if your life, every second of it, every pain, every joy, every sigh and mistake and kiss and loss and morning coffee, had to be lived over and over again, forever, not just repeated once, but an infinite number of times? Would you scream in terror, or smile because you lived a life worth repeating? Nietzsche didn't mean this as a scientific truth. It was a test, a question whispered in the dark. If you had to live this exact life again, eternally, would you love it enough to say yes? You don't have to answer that now, but think of it this way. What if time is not a straight line, but a circle? What if every small, forgotten moment was sacred? The way the wind moved through the trees today, the way your tea steamed in the quiet, the words you didn't say but felt. If this is the only life you get, once or forever, maybe it's worth noticing. So let's slow down, breathe again, feel the circle, turning softly. Heidegger and the whisper of being. Let's drift deeper now. You may not have heard of Martin Heidegger, but you felt the questions he asked. He wasn't interested in just what is time, but how we are in time. To him we are not just clocks ticking in flesh. We are being, that strange heavy word philosophers use to name the feeling of existence itself. Heidegger believed time was tied to something deeper, our awareness of death. You see, we are the only creatures who know we will die. We carry that truth quietly under our ribs, and because we know that time will end, we give it meaning. A sunset matters because it fades. A voice matters because it will go silent. A life matters because it ends. But don't be afraid of that. This is not a dark thought. It's a tender one. Because Heidegger is really telling us every moment is precious because it won't last. So hold it gently. This breath, this blink of awareness, this quiet night where you are not alone, even now as you lie there listening, you are being, and that is enough. Are you still with me? Or maybe you've drifted to that in-between place, where thoughts float and blend with dreams. Let's linger there, because now we meet Henry Bergson, a philosopher of softness, of duration, of the soul's private clock. Bergson believed that time isn't mechanical. It's not the tick-tick-tick of numbers, it's felt, lived like music. Think of how time stretches when you're in pain, or how it vanishes when you're in love. That's Bergson's time, the real time, the deep time, the time inside your heart. And so, if you've lost track of how long this video is, good. You're living in Bergson's world now, a world where time flows not counts, a world where sleep is just another kind of duration. Let your body sink into the bed. Let your eyelids grow heavy. There is no destination tonight. There is no finish line. Only rhythm. Only breath. Only the strange, beautiful feeling of being. Time may be an illusion, or it may be everything. But here, right now, you are timeless. And so we continue slowly. Outside your window, maybe there's moonlight. Maybe only darkness. Maybe rain tracing patterns on glass. Maybe the hum of a fan, or the soft purring of the night. In this soft space, we travel, not across distances, but across ideas, quiet ones. In the East, long before clocks, before calendars and hours and minutes, people thought of time not as a straight path, but as a river, flowing, changing, returning, always moving, but never rushing. In Hindu philosophy, time is called color. It's not just a measure of moments, but a divine force, a cycle, birth, life, death, and rebirth. Time doesn't end, it circles back. There's a story, soft and old, of a boy named Nachiketa. He meets the god of death, Yama, and asks him about the mystery of life and what happens after. But Yama tells him something even deeper, that to understand time is to understand the self, that all things change. Fear, desire, sleep, are part of the same flowing current. And maybe you've felt it, those moments when you wake from a dream and don't know if minutes or years have passed, or when a single second stretches into forever, like when you're waiting, or when you fall in love, or when you hear a song that brings back a memory so clearly it's as if no time has passed at all. Maybe memory is the way we swim in time. Maybe forgetting is the way we rest. You don't have to remember everything. In fact, the soul remembers even when the mind lets go, and maybe that's what dreams are. Little boats sailing across the river of time, carrying thoughts we didn't know we had. Tonight, as you lie there, your body growing heavier with each breath, maybe you'll dream of an old philosopher sitting by the water's edge. He's quiet, watching the flow. He doesn't speak, he only listens, because sometimes the deepest truths come not in answers, but in waiting. Buddhist monks sometimes meditate on the breath, not to control it, but to notice it, not to measure time, but to feel it, one breath at a time, in and out, like waves on a shore. You don't need to rush. You're not late for anything. Everything you were supposed to be, you already are. Everything that matters is already here. You've made it to this moment. That is more than enough. The Japanese word ma means the space between things, the silence between notes, the pause between breaths. You are in the ma now, that soft, timeless place between day and night, between waking and sleep, between who you were and who you are becoming. There is no pressure here, no judgment, no right thoughts or wrong ones. You are just being, like a candle gently flickering in a dark room, quiet, present and whole. And now, maybe you're not even listening to every word. That's perfectly fine. Let your mind drift. Let the words become soft echoes. Somewhere deep in ancient China, a sage named Zhuangzi once dreamed he was a butterfly. When he woke, he asked himself, was I a man dreaming I was a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming I am a man? What is the boundary between the dreamer and the dream? Does time exist in dreams? Maybe you're already floating there, on the edge of that mystery, a soft question without an answer. Let it carry you. Let the weight of the day fall away, like autumn leaves slipping from a branch. Whatever happened today, happened. It is done. It has dissolved into the past, where all things go to rest. You don't need to carry it anymore. Not the worries, not the what-ifs, not the heavy maybes. Let them fall. Let your chest rise gently and fall. Let your fingers soften. Let your jaw unclench. And if tears come, let them come. They're just another way the body lets go. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not late. You are a part of time's great unfolding, not a machine racing against the clock, but a soul dancing in the stillness between stars. And somewhere, someone is listening too, in another room, another country, another life. They are also wondering, dreaming, becoming. You are not alone in your sleeplessness. And even if sleep doesn't come right away, that's okay. Rest is still rest. Silence is still sacred. And this moment, even this one, is still part of your story. Let the philosopher inside you be still. Let the thoughts come and go, like waves. You are not here to solve anything. You are here to feel. And as time flows around you, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Still, safe, drifting. Somewhere in a room far from here, a candle flickers. Its flame leans slightly with the breath of the air around it. It doesn't worry about time. It just burns, moment by moment, quietly fulfilling its purpose. You too don't need to rush to meaning. Meaning can arrive slowly, like light creeping across the floor at sunrise. Have you ever noticed how slow light is when you're watching it come through the curtains in the morning? How it gently touches everything before fully arriving? That's what thought is like in these hours. It doesn't come to be captured, it comes to be felt. There's a thought I'd like to share with you, an old one. It came from a man who walked alone through forests in silence. Basho, a Japanese poet of the Edo period, he once wrote, "Sitting quietly, doing nothing, spring comes and the grass grows by itself." Time doesn't need our effort to move forward. It carries us, even when we don't notice. You may feel like you're not progressing, that you're waiting, standing still, but in truth, time is carrying you, through healing, through growing, through becoming. Even tonight, yes, even in stillness, you are being changed, gently, quietly. There's no alarm clock for the soul, no stopwatch for peace. Some things happen slowly, like forgiveness, like healing, like trust, like sleep. So let it come, softly. Close your eyes, if they haven't already. You're safe here, and if part of you is still awake, still holding on to worries or doubts, let me speak to that part too. You've done enough for one day, even if you didn't finish everything, even if you made mistakes, or said too little, or said too much, you are still worthy of rest. The stars do not wait for perfection to rise, they rise because it is time, and so must you, into sleep, into dreaming, into softness. Somewhere, in another life perhaps, there is an old philosopher standing beside a river. He holds no books, he wears no robe, he says nothing profound, he only watches the ripples, the way the moon reflects and shatters with each little wave. He is you, a version of you that is already at peace. You may not see it yet, but your soul remembers. In the ancient desert, the Sufi poets believed that sleep was a kind of return to the divine. Rumi wrote, "Don't think the garden loses its ecstasy in winter. It's quiet, but the roots are down there, riotous." Even now, as you lie still, the deepest parts of you are growing. Rest is not the absence of doing, it's the presence of becoming. Can I tell you a small story, one you don't need to hold on to? Just let it pass over you like warm wind. There was once a child who asked his grandfather what time is. The old man smiled and told him to close his eyes. "What do you feel?" he asked. "I feel the wind," the child said. "And how do you know it's there?" "I feel it on my skin." The grandfather nodded. Time is like that. You can't see it, but you feel it move through you. And if you're quiet enough, it carries you. So be still now. Let time carry you. The anxiety of doing fades in the presence of being. And you, right now, are not a task. You are not unfinished. You are not late. You are here. The philosopher Plotinus once said that time is the life of the soul in motion, that every soul carries its own rhythm, its own secret ticking, not of seconds, but of self-discovery. You don't need to match the world's clock. You don't need to keep pace with anyone. Let your own rhythm unfold. Let your thoughts slow. Let your heart beat gently, like a drum far off in the night. There is no wrong way to be you, and there is no wrong way to fall asleep. Even if your mind drifts, let it. Even if you start to dream mid-sentence, beautiful. That means this space is working. That means you've allowed yourself to let go. And if you're still here, still listening, maybe sleep hasn't come yet. That's okay. You're not alone. Even the moon waits before it becomes full. So let me keep speaking to you softly. Let me hold the silence with words until you drift beyond them. There's another philosopher I want you to meet, not with facts but with feeling. Heraclitus. He once said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and not the same man." You are changing, even now. Even as you lie in the same bed, in the same room, you are not the same person you were an hour ago. Change doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it moves like roots beneath the soil, silent, unseen, powerful. The river of time flows through you. And tonight, you are floating gently along its current. No paddling, no resistance, just letting go. Let your fingers unclench, let your thoughts grow soft. There's nowhere to be, nothing to solve, no clock that owns you. Only this moment, this breath, this gentle unfolding of sleep. You are okay, and if you forget that in the morning, come back, I'll remind you. I'll always be here, in the quiet, a voice in the dark, a hand reaching gently through the fog of thought. Sleep is not something you chase, it's something that arrives when you stop trying. So stop trying, just be, drift, float, disappear, for a little while, into that deep ocean of rest, where even time loses its shape, and when you wake, the world will still be here, but so will the quiet, waiting for you to return. There is a forest where time has no name, no clocks, no numbers, just the rustling of leaves, the stretching of trees, and the quiet exhale of moss beneath your feet. That forest lives in you. It is the part of your mind that isn't concerned with tasks or memory, the part that just listens, the part that knows peace. You don't need to find it, you're already there. Close your eyes if they aren't already closed, and let's walk a little farther in. There's a tree here, its bark is silver in moonlight, its roots go so deep, they touch the memories of the earth, and in its branches, a single bell hangs, old, rusted, and silent. This bell doesn't ring with sound, it rings in silence. Each moment you rest, it chimes a little more clearly. Can you hear it? That's not a trick question. It's a way of asking if you've reached the still part of your soul yet. Because deep rest doesn't sound like sleep. It sounds like nothing. The good kind of nothing. The kind that feels like floating in warm water, or hearing your heartbeat echo in a dark room. You are safe in this nothing, and from this nothing, everything is born, even thought, even time. In Taoist thought they say that everything arises from the Tao, the nameless, timeless source of all things. It is not a god, it is not a force, it is more like a rhythm that existed before the first heartbeat. The Tao flows not in lines, but in circles, like breath, like tides, like the cycle of waking and dreaming. You are not outside of this, you are a part of it. You are not a mistake, you are the Tao. Dreaming it is a person, lying in a room, listening to the wind, and if that feels too big, don't worry, you don't need to understand, you just need to be. Sometimes philosophers try to put it into words, but words are like nets, they catch a shape, not the substance. True peace isn't in the definition, it's in the feeling. Like right now, you are not thinking, not quite, just feeling, floating, listening, and even if your mind wanders, let it, it's allowed to drift. We don't cage birds for flying, we don't shame rivers for curving, so if thoughts rise and fall, let them. You are not your thoughts, you are the sky they pass through. There's a quiet tradition among mystics, to sit in the dark, not to find answers, but to let the soul grow eyes, not the kind of eyes that see light, but the kind that see truth. And what is the truth, really? That nothing lasts, but also, that everything matters, because it passes. The breath you're taking now will never come again. That's what makes it precious. The way your blanket holds you tonight, the way your chest gently rises and falls, the way a voice, mine, reaches through the night, to hold your hand in silence. These things are small, but they are real, they are enough. And sometimes, when the mind is soft enough, the heart whispers things we were too busy to hear before. So listen, not with ears, with stillness. What do you hear inside yourself now? Is it peace? Is it sorrow? Is it gratitude? Whatever it is, it's welcome, it belongs. There is no part of you that has to be hidden in this place. This moment accepts all of you, even the tired parts, even the restless parts, especially them. And now, if you're not already drifting, let yourself drift. If your body feels heavy, let it sink deeper into the bed. If your breath is shallow, let it grow longer. In, out, nothing more is required of you. You do not need to be wise, you do not need to be interesting, you do not need to impress anyone, you only need to be, and you already are. Even now you are glowing in your own way, like a lantern behind a curtain, quiet, unseen, steady, and when you wake, you'll carry that light with you. But for now you don't need to worry about the waking world. You are in the temple of night, the chapel of rest, the house of slow time. Stay here as long as you like, and if you need more words, more dreams, more calm, I'll be here. There is no rush. Sleep does not need to be earned. It arrives like dusk, slowly, without asking.
So sleep, if you wish, drift if you can, and if not, just rest. That's beautiful too. There's a quiet place in the soul, not a room, not a field, not even a dream, just a presence, a feeling, like remembering a word that hasn't been spoken yet, like seeing something familiar that you've never actually seen before. That's where we are now, you and I, not talking, not thinking, just sharing the silence that holds both of us. Have you ever noticed how silence is never really empty? There's always something in it, a heartbeat, a memory, a breath, or maybe it's the sound of the universe breathing around us. The ancient philosophers called it the music of the spheres, a perfect endless harmony that plays beneath all sound, too deep for ears, but not for the soul. And tonight, you're part of that song. Even in stillness, even in silence, you don't have to do anything to belong, you already do. There's a story, old and soft like worn parchment, of a man named Anaximander. He lived before the world had maps, before people knew what the stars were, or where the earth ended. He looked at the night sky, not to conquer it, but to understand it. He believed everything came from something called the Iperon, the boundless, the infinite, the undefined source of all being. It was not chaos, it was not God, it was simply the beginning, and also the end. He said that all things emerge from it and return to it. Maybe that's where dreams come from that soft, endless place before form, where thoughts haven't hardened into language, where sleep isn't separate from waking, but part of the same gentle rhythm, in and out, rise and fall. Even your breath knows this ancient music. You are not fighting against time, you are riding with it, like a leaf on the stream. And time, it's not what we thought, is it? It's not just minutes and hours and alarms, it's the soft stretch of dusk, the hush of snowfall, the long pause after someone says your name. You are inside that pause now, let yourself stay there. No need to move forward, no need to solve anything. The philosopher Henry Bergson once said that true time, what he called durée réelle, is not measurable. It's not made of numbers, it's made of experience, emotion, memory, presence. And here, in this space between waking and dreaming, you are living in that kind of time, pure time, not forced, not counted, just felt.
How long have you been listening? A few minutes? An hour? Does it matter? You've stepped outside the clock now. You've entered that secret river of time that flows only inside the soul, where hours stretch and compress, where one breath can feel like eternity, and you don't need to swim. You're already floating. Let your thoughts drift further. Let go of the day behind you. Let go of the day ahead. There is only now. This breath, this heartbeat, this gentle stream of thought. And in this moment, nothing is broken. Even if you carry wounds, they are resting now. Even if you carry questions, they are quiet now. Even if you carry fear, it is soft now and far away, because this moment is sacred. Not in the religious sense necessarily, but in the human sense. This is the sacredness of being, of existing, of closing your eyes and feeling, I am still here, and that is enough. There's a myth from the Inuit people of the dream hunters. They believed that the soul travels at night, not to escape the body, but to find what the body cannot. Some dreams are simple, some are strange, some are messengers. Tonight let your soul wander if it wants to. Don't hold it back. Let it slip beyond the veil of consciousness and into the lands beyond thought, where memories melt into colours, where sounds become emotions, where you might walk on air, or speak with stars, or sit beside the version of you that always felt at peace. Even if you don't remember those dreams, they will do their work. You don't need to understand the healing for it to happen. Just rest. Trust in rest. Trust that your soul knows what it's doing. Trust that this stillness is not empty, it is full, and you are inside it. Even now, with your eyes closed, or half closed, or drifting, you are still you. Not the busy version, not the stressed version, not the performing version, just you, at rest. And this version is beautiful. This version has always been enough. Maybe no one told you that today, so let me say it softly. You are enough. You are enough. You are enough. Let those words echo through the corridors of your mind. Let them settle into your breath. Let them warm the parts of you that feel cold or forgotten, because they're true, and as you begin to dissolve into sleep, or the space right before sleep, know this: there is nothing more important than this moment of peace, not achievement, not explanation, not approval, just this soft dark, this floating light, this simple sacred breath. Let's stay here just a little longer, still, warm, unhurried. If your body is still holding on, tell it softly, you can let go now. The day has released you. The night holds you in its hands. Nothing needs fixing. Nothing needs finishing. Now sleep tight. Have good dream. Tomorrow is a busy day. Good night,